Hello, all you coin collecting, coin loving, coin aficionados out there, and welcome again to the DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Today we're going to look at some 5-cent pieces from the country of Canada from 1942 until 1973. Now, what happened was I did a video and I talked about all the different changes that Canada made to its coins in the 1990s and went through them all. And then I said, geez, have they been doing this all along? And it kind of turns out they have, though not necessarily by choice, but just because of different things that happened. So the first coin we're looking at here is a 1942 nickel, and we see the familiar beaver on the back of the 1942 nickel. This coin is actually made of nickel. It is 4.45 grams of nickel, and it is the portrait on the front. Well, this is a Kruger gray, and we can see the Kruger gray here, and the beaded interior and all the similar stuff on there, the maple leaves and everything. George the Sixth, by the grace of God, King and Emperor of India. It says kind of with a Latin inscription around there. So this is a 1942. You notice it has a toothed edge, and it's kind of at a little bit of an angle going in. And this is in 1942. There were 6.8 million of these made. This coin here is probably worth 50 to 75 cents, maybe a little bit less than that. But it is, as you can see, it is a round coin, and it is George VI facing left. The next coin we had was the 1946. And let me see if I can take this a little smaller so you can see the 1946 at the same time you see the 1942. So when we look at them, we automatically notice a big difference in them, and that is that they had gone to the dodecagonal shape. So it's still a coin made of nickel. It's still 5 cents, still has the maple leaves and the beaver and the Kruger gray engraving initials on it. Still says Canada at the bottom with the year, and this one's 1946. But now we have this dodecagonal shape with the beaded inner edge. And if you actually count them, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 sides are dodecagonal. And so they went in 1946, they changed from a round coin to a dodecagonal coin. Same guy on the front, George VI, by the grace of God, King and Emperor of India. Now, those of you who have been watching my videos know that this 1946 and 1947 were the last years he was the King and Emperor of India, because in 1948 India achieved its independence. Next, we see the 1953, and again, we have the same kind of dodecagonal shape. It has a different tint to it, though, which is interesting. And if you follow the monarchy, you know two things. The first thing you know is that this was not going to have George the Sixth on it anymore, because George the Sixth had died and his daughter had come to power. So when we go from 46 to 53, there's George the Sixth. We see, there's Elizabeth. And this coin is beat. And there's a reason it's beat, and it's not shiny, and there's a reason that it's less shiny than the George VI, which is much older, and that is because they had shifted to a chrome-plated steel for 1953 and 1954. So this coin is dodecagonal. It has the first portrait, the young Queen Elizabeth II. It says Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, or Regina, and it has the same reverse, but because it's that chrome-plated steel, it just wore awful. And thank goodness they shifted in 1963 to the kind of more modern version. Again, they're back to round, so they're not dodecagonal anymore. They're back to round. And when we see the front, we see that it is still the Queen Elizabeth, the young queen portrait, and she's still facing to the right, but sorry about that flashing. But in this particular portrait, you can see all of it, including the lines in her hair and the waves of the ribbon. And so when we get to 1963, we've gone from the chrome-plated steel of 1953-54 to the nickel of 1963-64. So this is round again. So it went back from the dodecagonal to the round again. So it was round first for Edward VI, and it went to dodecagonal. Then it was dodecagonal first for Elizabeth II, then it went to round. And so this particular one, same thing, same rounded edges, same Canada on the bottom, and the regular portrait. And we're getting a real flash off the camera, and I'm sorry about that, because it probably is a little bright for some of you. Okay, so this is a 1973, and in 1973 we've changed once again, and that is we no longer, and you can probably guess this started in 65 and went to 81, and then when we flip it over you can see what we've changed this time, and that is we've gone to the second portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. So instead of the young woman first portrait, we've gone to a more older, more mature second portrait of Queen Elizabeth. And in this one, she is 39 years old and wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. In this one, she has kind of a laurel wreath. I don't know if you can see that. So we've changed both her age and kind of gone to a more, geez, that light is just killer, isn't it? And kind of gone to a more distinguished portrait of the Queen, I guess you would say. And this, of course, is the Arnold Machen portrait that was there for years. Same back, same year, same maple leaf, same beaver there, and that's pretty much all that we have for this video. So look for these coins, look for the differences, and look for all the different stuff that they have going on with these particular coins, because the Canadian nickels are not collected that much. They're not necessarily highly valued. You can get every one of these ones that I've shown you today for probably around 50 cents or under. And for some reason they're just not collected very much. There are plenty of them out there, so why not collect them? And actually, when you get to some of these, like the 63, even in very fine condition, the 63 is only worth 20 to 25 cents in this condition right here. So it's not a highly valuable coin, and they're still you can still fill your slots and your year slots in Canada very cheaply. So if you're a collector of Canadian coins, get them now, because people are not collecting them, and they are about to go by the wayside, because nickels are not used much in Canada anymore. So from DC Coin Channel, we say thank you, and feel free to subscribe to our channel and leave any comments that we'd like in the comment section.